Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and Liberty Doll on the mend with weird voodoo grandma home remedies. First things first, before I jump into the news here and break down the lawsuit against the NFA and all the states that have signed up, I would like to thank AmmoSquared for being a friend to this channel and hosting my little meet and greet at Goals this past weekend. Here is a clip from that. All right, everyone, I would like to give a big shout out to a friend of this channel, AmmoSquared. I'm at the AmmoSquared booth right here at the Goals event, and I just had a talk with founder Dan over here, and AmmoSquared is this amazing ammo subscription service where you can get any ammo that you want. There's 70 calibers to choose from on any friendly monthly budget, whether it's one round, half a round, a whole box, 20 boxes, 100 boxes. I don't know what you're doing out there, but as much ammo as you could possibly want or need to resist tyranny in Minecraft. So make sure to say thank you to AmmoSquared. Jumping to the news, the short version is that the challenge to the National Firearms Act is heating up. GOA has been acting as a tip of the spear, and now 15 states have signed on to challenge a law that was originally sold to the American people of yesteryear as a tax, not as the gun control it has become. Everyone was disappointed with everything that happened with the big, beautiful bill. Suppressors and SPRs were off the NFA, then back on, then off, then half off with a big fat asterisk that said, hey, the government will still track you, but now they'll do it for free. This result is better than where we started, but still not the win that we were promised. Whether or not gun rights groups and the politicians on our side oversold and overpromised, you can decide for yourself. But once the damage was done, we were told, okay, the next strategy is saying, hey, well, the NFA is a tax, and if the tax is now zero, we can sue to get rid of the registry because the registry is, in theory, only supposed to be a way to track who paid the tax. In fact, the NFA was passed in 1934 by Congress invoking its Article I authority to lay and collect taxes. And the entire purpose of the original bill was, in fact, to track who paid the fees, not to track the products themselves, though at the time the price was so high that most people were priced out, which is how most gun control still works today. You can own anything if you've got enough money. So on that basis, GOA filed a lawsuit against the ATF, DOJ, Pam Bondi, and acting ATF Director Dan Driscoll. They were joined by Silencer Shop Foundation, Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition, B&T USA, Palmetto State Armory, Silencer Company, Gun Owners Foundation, and Brady Wetz. But now, Ken Paxton has announced that Texas and 14 other Republican-led states have signed on as well, giving this lawsuit even more of a punch. They are as follows: Texas, Alaska, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina damn straight, South Dakota, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Now, will this change the outcome? I cannot say for sure. I am not a lawyer, and crazy things have happened in the courts. It definitely makes the lawsuit harder to ignore. It also paints a picture of more people fighting against the NFA. If some sort of relief is given, no matter how temporary, it would apply to the people in those groups and possibly even the gun owners in those states. If more states sign on, it would show a broad consensus that could push it even harder in our direction. I would also imagine that more states means more funds to fight with. Already, people in red states not on the list have been contacting the politicians and attorneys general in their states to try and push more states to join. So, if you are in a red state, maybe even a purple state, you never know, give it a shot. Call up your people, push them to try and join this lawsuit because, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no? Best case, more states join on, and then the DOJ is forced to try to defend something to half of the country. That'll make it a lot harder. Now, the argument that the lawsuit makes is that in stripping the tax from the NFA, the law can no longer pass constitutional muster. Now, you and I would say that it isn't constitutional anyway, especially after Bruin, but the fact of the matter is that the courts have ruled before that the government can regulate the taxes and commerce of arms, arguments that have been used before to defend the NFA. In 1937, the Supreme Court upheld the NFA in Sonzinski v. United States. Might be saying the name wrong, but either way, They defended it as only a taxing measure and found its registry obviously supportable as an aid of revenue purpose. It was upheld again in 1968 with Haynes v. United States as an interrelated statutory system for the taxation of certain classes of firearms. And the Eighth Circuit has used the Commerce Clause to reject NFA cases in the past. But now we have a registry with no tax or revenue attached, and we already know that registries are illegal. The lawsuit also points to the Supreme Court's 2012 decision in NFIB v. Sebelius, which held that the federal government must point to a specific constitutional grant of authority for any action that it takes. They don't necessarily abide by that, but that was the Supreme Court's decision. Thus, the suit says, because the tax is gone, the NFA cannot be upheld under the previous Article 1 powers. Thus far, the case is assigned to U.S. District Judge James Wesley Hendricks, who was a Trump appointee. Now, the NRA also has a separate lawsuit going in a different district, that one also assigned to a Trump-appointed judge. Their argument is similar. There are some differences. Now, these lawsuits do not target the NFA as a whole. Big red disclaimer there. They only target those items that got zeroed out under the Big Beautiful Bill. That means suppressors/silencers, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons under the NFA's definition. This does not include machine guns, destructive devices, or large caliber weapons. So, no grenades, no mortars, or things like that. Alas. Again, the tax stamp was not zeroed out for those items, so they do not fall under the argument. As a backup, the suit also argues that the restrictions on silencers and SBRs fail Bruin, claiming these items are not dangerous and unusual. So the more people that now go out and buy them, the more this argument will also hold weight. So if you were looking to get one of these, maybe now is the time. And of course, it argues that the restrictions put an unnecessary burden on people trying to exercise their rights. And the states say that the rules waste taxpayer dollars by imposing administrative costs on state agencies that own those items. The lawsuit seems pretty rock solid to me, but I am obviously biased. This is certainly an exciting time. It's an exciting lawsuit, as exciting as lawsuits can be when you are not an attorney. And I think that it does have the potential to go in our favor. Only time will tell. It will also be interesting to see if it goes in our favor and the DOJ appeals it to higher level courts. The DOJ has maintained that while certain items do fall under the Second Amendment, they can still be banned by whatever logic. So it will be interesting to see if this is not ruled in their favor, how high they decide to appeal it. I will definitely be following this one and keep you updated with anything that comes along. In the meantime, you guys know the drill. For all of the algorithm things, please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell and drop a comment to help the algorithm gods and whatever good juju karma out there to help me feel better. We'll go with it. We'll say that that's a thing. Why not? And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.